Hydro appeared in the Mortal Kombat comic book series known as Blood and Thunder. He joined Sub-Zero in the Mortal Kombat tournament based on the first game. His design looks the same as Sub-Zero's, so the only way to tell who is who is by seeing which ninja mentions their own name, because almost every character in the classic Mortal Kombat comics speak in third person. Sadly though, Hydro does not get enough attention in the comic series and ends up being the second character to die in the first Mortal Kombat tournament. He does not die in the tournament match, as all characters end up wandering off the tournament and in search of mythical books filled with riddles and capable of giving the beholder incredible powers. The first person to die in the tournament was Lance, Sonya Blade's partner, her original partner. But before he met his own demise, he along with Sonya had confronted Sub-Zero and Hydro in hopes of getting vital information about Kano's whereabouts. As expected from the Lin Kuei, they refused to cooperate with them, and Sonya and Lance were ready to fight them in order to get some information from them. But before they could fight, that's the moment that they arrived at Shang Tsung's island. Seeing that Lance wasn't exactly a worthy opponent, one could have imagined that Sub-Zero and Hydro could have won the fight against them. But since Lance had Sonya Blade by his side, then she could have prevented him from being annihilated by the Lin Kuei. Sub-Zero is a worthy fighter, but in the current storyline, he ended up being the only combatant that would die in the first tournament. And as for Hydro, he ended up being no match against the man that would take his life, Scorpion. So if Hydro could easily lose against Scorpion, and Scorpion would end up losing against Sub-Zero in the Blood and Thunder series, then chances are that Sonya and Lance would have won the fight. But aside from that, let's take a look at Hydro's last stand. In the 4th issue of Blood and Thunder, Scorpion approaches Hydro and they duke it out. Hydro cannot create ice like Sub-Zero, as his abilities are very similar to Rain's special attacks, where he can create water and attack his opponents with it. Hydro uses water abilities as well, but he is able to freeze his opponents by blasting them with freezing cold water. And in his fight against Scorpion, he performs his special attack, but it's ineffective against Scorpion, who then uses his spear attack against Hydro. Only in this comic book series, Scorpion does not use a rope dart. He instead uses a spike ball. Hydro sees the attack coming, but he is not quick enough to dodge it, and it injures him badly. Scorpion then walks up to him. He tells Hydro to prepare for his final journey. Hydro tells him that he does not fear death, and Scorpion kills him. It's a shame that he died so soon in the comic book series, as he could have been utilized a little longer to make his death more shocking, because instead it became more of an embarrassment, getting KO'd with just a single hit, and worst of all, getting killed off screen. We don't see how Scorpion finished him. It looked like Scorpion just punched him, and then we don't see Hydro after that. Sub-Zero and Raiden arrived the second he killed Hydro, but after their fight against him, you aren't shown Hydro's body, and Sub-Zero doesn't mention anything about him either. The only conclusion I can come up with is that Sub-Zero was taught not to care about anyone dying, so he just moved on. And as for not showing a body, then maybe Scorpion burned Hydro's body to ashes. So that was the end for Hydro. He also ended up making a brief appearance in the Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition 2 comic book. And the next time we see him is on the first season of Mortal Kombat Legacy, in the 9th episode. He is introduced as the opponent for both Cyrax and Sector. However, in this episode, we see that the Lin Kuei have begun working on the Cyber Initiative, which meant that they were turning their ninja clan members into cybernetic ninjas. And we get to see it happen with Cyrax and Sector. Hydro was already a cybernetic ninja when we first see him, and he was an impressive fighter as he was able to hold his own against Cyrax and Sector at the same time. But if it wasn't for them working together, then Hydro would have been able to defeat them. But he gets defeated and Cyrax proceeds to finish him off with a killer fatality. I highly recommend those of you who haven't seen this episode to check it out. Now, seeing as Hydro was never a playable character in the Mortal Kombat games, this means that Hydro must have been a sort of Easter egg on the character from the classic Mortal Kombat comics. And even though Mortal Kombat 9 presented us with Cyber Sub-Zero as another cybernetic ninja, but with freezing abilities, fans still wanted to see Hydro make an appearance as a playable character, so they created him in Mortal Kombat Mugen games. Kinda makes you want to see this character make an appearance in the next Mortal Kombat game. What do you think? But with that said, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, be sure to leave a like, share with others, and subscribe if you haven't. I want to give a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I am very grateful for your support, and this video is for you guys. And for those of you who haven't, be sure to check out my Patreon, and if you'd like to support the channel, you'll get additional content and more just by donating at least $1. It'll help me get a new computer to continue making more videos like this one and faster content as well. You also have a chance to win prizes, so you might want to check that out. The link to my Patreon is on the description, as well as my Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, where I post all sorts of random stuff for you guys. But anyways, I'll see you on the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.